Welcome back to the Triple Double Watch, guys. We got our last episode of the tier list ever. There will never be another tier list.
That's not true.
I'm joking. But last position rankings for NBA.
Going into 2022.
Yep. So we got centers, fifth and final position. And I think this might be the easiest one of them all.
Yeah, maybe. I think that shooting guard one was pretty...
It was kind of light. Yeah. It's definitely going to be easier than small forward, power forward, though.
The power forward, go check that out. Go check them all out. But the power forward one was something else, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. The centers one, though, it's one of those things where you're either Jokic and you can do practically everything. You're Embiid, or you're kind of just a lob threat, or you're kind of a defensive guy, or you're a little bit of both. Or, so there's not a ton of variety in some of these guys.
One of my arguments in the last one was that we had all our top five on the superstars for the power forward.
That will not be happening on this one.
I think we might just have two centers. The clear-cut ones. They might be the only superstars.
Yeah.
So
well, let's get into
it. That. We'll start with Robert Williams, who I'm going to say star for now.
I was going to say top of average.
I feel like he'll be bottom star, but I think he's close to it. So
actually, he's like a defensive player of the type. So, first centers, he's a star,
yeah. Then you got Jared Allen.
He's an all-star.
I think he'll be the bottom of it.
But he's still...
I think these all-star star ranges will be pretty loaded.
Yeah.
At the end of this. Chet Holmgren.
I think he's better than Robert Williams.
Yeah.
He's
obviously not an all-star level yet.
So
I think he'll be the top of it there. So, Mitchell Robinson.
He's below Robert Williams for me. So maybe top of average.
Yeah, I'll say that. JaVale McGee, I think, is backup.
He's a backup. He's looking like he might start for the Mavs.
Yeah, Christian Wood at the 4. They might run Finney Smith and Wood at the 5.
Yeah, it might, and they might change that up just based off who they're playing. But at this point, McGee's a backup, but he's a good backup.
ESPN depth chart says JaVale.
So yeah.
All right, so one of the first duplicates I've put in both Kevon Looney and this guy James Wiseman for the Warriors. Obviously, we have not seen.
Not much of him at all. I mean, been over a year since we saw him, and even then it was rookie year on a not competing team yet, really. So I think he is still better than Robinson, but he's average. I think
for now.
I hope he becomes a lot.
Still a lot to see.
Because he looks like a really exciting player, though, if he can get it right with his knee.
Yep. And then we got Mason Plumlee.
Yeah, he's a backup.
Yeah, he's better than JaVale, I think. I mean, they're similar. But
they got a little upside.
But this one's going to be an interesting one. Miles Turner.
I think he's a star.
I think he's between Chet and Woods.
I was going to say that too.
And then another interesting one in Nurkic.
Nurkic for me is above all of them in star.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, no, he's not an all-star. But for now, I think, Chet has got off-the-chart potential, but for now.
And then we got Kevon Looney, I think is top backup, maybe low average. He's really, he plays his role real good.
I think he's better than these backup guys, honestly, for what he just does it better in some way. And maybe that's type of the Warriors philosophy type thing, but he just does it better than
so the guys. Shout out my titles. This will probably be the title of the video. Who are we putting ahead of who?
For me, it's Jokic.
I think the guys won back-to-back.
Back-to-back MVPs, and that's no shade at Joel.
People will argue Embiid should have won one or both.
Yeah.
But I think he's, better than Embiid as of now. So.
And my argument this past year, and I told you this some, was that they had about the same record all year.
Yeah.
And to me, Embiid had way more help before the Harden trade even.
Definitely.
He still had Tobias and Tyrese Maxey, who was budding into a star.
Yeah.
And Jokic's second best player was Aaron Gordon, Will Barton. I don't know. It wasn't great, though, and he was still...
for a time, Bones Highland.
Exactly. So...
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like those are the two that'll be the only ones. I don't think we can...
we'll get to it.
Jakob Poeltl.
Oh, yeah. Why did I say he's not going to be on this list? I saw a Spurs jersey. I instantly... But he's not even on the Spurs anymore.
Yeah. Jakob Poeltl.
He's top of average for me.
Top of average. I don't...
I think he's better than Mitchell Robinson, at least.
I don't know.
Then we're kind of
really
flattering
close.
Wiseman.
I think he's close to Robinson.
That's fine.
I think he's low, but it's...
He's got more offensive upside to me than Mitchell Robinson. So
yeah. Then we got Vucevic. I think he's top of All-Star for now.
yeah, I like that.
And then he gets booted from the top of All-Star.
Yep.
Wanted to mention, didn't mention in the power forward, that we're going to go and assume that Rudy will be the 5 and Cat will now be a 4.
Yeah.
So
And that might help Cat a lot, honestly,
Yeah.
for his whole game. So
might be the only reason he's better than Ben Simmons.
okay.
DeAndre Ayton.
Check out the power forward if you don't know what we're talking about. Some hot takes. Straight off the grill.
I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Oh, you're the one that made it.
DeAndre Ayton. I think he's behind Rudy.
I think he's behind Vucevic, too, for me.
I mean, yeah, it's close.
It's close, though.
I think Bam is ahead of Vucevic, behind Rudy.
For me, he'd be above Rudy, but I'm fine with that.
I just think Rudy, Bam is the same. He's a defensive guy.
But I like Bam can play make just a bit. Rudy has literally none of that, and Bam can hit a mid-range jumper at least. Rudy can't do any of that.
He doesn't even look for him. That's why,
I know, but I'm just saying, it would help if he could.
Yeah.
So,
I think Rudy's going to play really good next to Cat. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a good pairing. At least, for sure.
Wendell Carter Jr.
That's a good one. He's like somewhere in star. Where, I don't know.
I think he's the bottom.
I think he's better than Robert Williams.
I could see that, I guess. I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
We'll put him behind Miles Turner. Then Ivica Zubac.
He's like below Mitchell Robinson, I think.
I just think Mitch Robinson's better than him and Bertle, but
I can see that.
Then the Jazz current replacement at center is Walker Kessler, who in our draft recap you've mentioned you think could end up blossoming into a similar player than Gobert.
Yeah, I really...
Or was that the conference? I think that was...
I might have mentioned it both times.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, regardless, I think Walker Kessler has a ton of upside, honestly. I don't think he'll ever be full defensive capability of Rudy, but he could be near it, and then also way more skilled offensively, maybe hit a 3 eventually in his career, really be hitting 3s eventually in his career. So, but for now,
I think he's got to go in the backup.
He's in backup, but I
it.
love the potential. Yeah, I like top of it though. He's already better than those guys to me.
Yeah, and here's the other duplicate of the video. We have 32 guys on here. The Looney and Wiseman center position for the Warriors. Yep. And the Grizzlies kind of run both of Xavier Tillman and Steven Adams at times. So this is Tillman. I think we just haven't seen a ton of him, so I think he's above Kessler. I think he's the top of backup for now.
I was going to say below Kessler, but I'm fine with above Kessler.
So, this is Isaiah Stewart, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a solid stretch, but I wouldn't say a whole year.
No.
He might... I think he's above Tillman. I don't think he's even average still yet.
Yeah, I can say.
He wouldn't start on the Warriors.
No.
Above Looney or something.
Then you got Nick Claxton, who I think he's close to Zubac and Looney.
That's exactly. I was gonna say above Zubac though. He's a much more of a vertical threat than those guys.
Yeah, and then put a little explanation out there for this one.
This one's interesting. Yeah.
Pascal in the centers, and I know everybody, he's power forward. Well, if you look at their best 5 that they should probably start, you got Van Vliet at the 1, you got Trent at the 2, you got Anunoby at the 3, you got Barnes at the 4. So Pascal will probably be running the 5 for the Raptors.
And you look at that lineup, and you're like, who are you going to bench between Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, who looks like he could be an all-star already, and Pascal Siakam, who is an all-star already? So it's and we think highly of Gary Trent too. It's it'd be kind of insane to bench him. Yeah. But then you look at their bench.
You got Boucher.
And you have Boucher, Precious Achua, And they just signed.
You couldn't think of who it was, and you still didn't look at it.
But they have like 3 backup centers, but none of them will start. So
I don't think. I mean, I think Boucher has the best chance.
Yeah.
If they wanted to run like bring in an Obi off the bench, which I don't think is smart. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, if you look at typical positions, Pascal's probably a power forward, but we slid him here in the centers. So.
For centers, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
And
I think he's ahead of Vucevic.
I was going to say the same thing. He's not... He could go... Actually, I mean, low-key, he could be at the top of this. Top of all-star.
Well, you're high on Bam, and I'm high on Gobert. So, I think
we got to keep them together.
Yeah.
So, I'm fine with that.
I think we leave him there.
But on his nights,
yes,
he's the top of the all-star.
Yeah. And then you got Domantas Sabonis.
He's an all-star, too.
So,
but
I think he's ahead of Allen.
Yeah, maybe. I think he's ahead of Ayton.
I think Ayton's ahead of Vucevic, but...
How about you put Ayton ahead of Vucevic and put Sabonis ahead of both of them?
Okay.
I think he's better. He's got a lot of playmaking ability. Create his own shot.
True.
Ayton doesn't really create his own shot. So.
And then you got a guy that plays as a star in his system. But
that's facts.
As an overall center, Brook Lopez, I think, falls into maybe the bottom of star, but I think he's closer to average.
Yeah, probably top of average.
Yeah, I would say.
I really don't love Robert Williams in star the more I look at it, but I don't know. We'll see. As far as it goes right now, I think we keep him there, but we'll see what we got left.
Yeah, so we got Thomas Bryant. I think he's similar to like Looney and Zubac. I'm obviously, as a Lakers fan, very interested to see what he ends up.
Was Thaddeus Young who I was thinking of? The Raptors have Thaddeus Young too. Oh, they drafted Christian Coloco. It wasn't a signing. They drafted another center. So they have like 4 backups. If you count Thaddeus Young as a center too, which is more powerful. But anyway, regardless.
In this video, we're counting Pascal.
Yes.
But Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant is average. And he's about as average can get when he's healthy.
I don't think you heard me, but I think he's like maybe ahead of Zubac and Looney. Close to Claxton.
I like that. I was going to say somewhere between Claxton. Like, I didn't know which side of Claxton, basically. So I like
this guy is interesting to watch, but I still can't say his name. Sengun.
Alperen Sengun. I think.
Sengun. That's what I call him, Sengun. And I think he's probably the top of backup. It's just...
I like that.
I mean, you're going to look good when you're...
Yeah, I like top of backup. I think he's got nice potential, though, for sure.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. You got the guys that got traded for each other back-to-back here. Jonas Valanciunas and Steven Adams. I think these guys are close to, like, the Nurkic level, maybe a little lower. Adams is probably lower than that, but...
I would go Valanciunas above Chet.
Yeah, for now. I think he passes him up very soon. But I think Steven Adams falls maybe around Wiseman and Pirtle.
That's what I was going to say, too. I was going to say below. Actually, I was going to say below Robinson.
I think Robinson and Claxton are very similar.
But we'll go below Wiseman then, probably.
I'm still on the boat that Pirtle is below Robinson, but looking at it this way, we'll stick with that. I think Clint Capella is in the star range, maybe all-star, but he would be the bottom, so he'd probably move down.
I was going to say he's not better than Valanciunas.
Okay, I mean...
So...
that's a tough one. I think he is.
I just like these centers that at least can get a bucket when they're down there. Like, Clint Capella can't really. I mean, he's just like, he scores strictly off of lobs. And that's fine, like, within your own system. But, like, comparing player to player, I like that if Nurkic gets it 15 feet from the bucket, he can make a play. I like that Valanciunas can, too.
So
and now Jarrett Allen...
you like this guy.
Really can't either, but he's like the elite of the elite at what he does.
So you like this guy that can go get yourself a bucket?
Oh, I do like Chris House a lot.
As a Mavs fan.
Especially as a Mavs fan. I'm a little upset, but I understand it. I think he's still an all-star.
I think he's at the bottom of it, if he is.
I was going to say above Allen.
I'm not.
That's fine.
I just... he has his nights, but he's still so inconsistent.
I'm fine with that.
So, and I don't think there's much moving that needs to go down here.
Yeah, I mean, we only have our 2 superstars, so after that, it's pretty balanced.
Yeah,
we got 6, and then
maybe move Looney down or make it more balanced.
6, 9, 7, 8. I mean, I'm fine with it. I think Looney's he's average. He was going to get starting offers at other teams if he didn't sign with the Warriors.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Well, there it is. That's the end of the tier list for now.
Probably the least controversial one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it was the easiest.
I think it was up there. So, check out all the other ones. Be on the lookout for future videos. We got a lot of content coming out. And check out the whole playlist. Yeah,
one quick thing. So for this one, we kind of been saying give us your hot takes. For this one, I kind of want to see if you had one guy that you could put into superstar with those guys, who would it be? And then if you had one guy in 3 years or 5 or something.
I feel like that's an obvious Chet.
That's probably an obvious Chet. But if you think, I mean, it could even be like a Wendell Carter type.
Yeah.
Kristaps, maybe you say he has a resurgence, or DeAndre Ayton really flourishes,
or
something
Walker
like
Kessler
that.
becomes
Walker Kessler, exactly. Superstar for Walker Kessler would be crazy, but I'd love to see it. So give us something like that, but especially one guy right now that you would throw in with Joel and Jokic. Let us hear it.
Yeah. So check out all the other ones. I think maybe soon we could rank every position together on it.
Yeah, that'd be
a long tier list, but hey.
Could limit to like 50 players or something.
Yeah. All right, so check out the playlist. It's going to be in the top right now. Give us a like and a subscribe.
Yes, sir.
100, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.